everyone. So in our last video we discussed about the salts and their family, and there were two more topics left in that section, which are hydrated salts and water of crystallization. So salts may be hydrated also. Like there are some salts which have water molecules associated with their crystal structure. So whenever you write the formula, you also write the water molecules which are associated with the crystal structure of that particular salt. As you all know that salt is an ionic compound. So it is not in form of molecules, it is in form of crystals. So there are some salts which have water molecules associated with their crystal structure. So such salts which have water molecules associated with their crystal structure are known as hydrated salts. And the examples of hydrated salts are copper sulfate .5H2O, as you see here, sodium carbonate decahydrate. It is also known as copper sulfate pentahydrate. This can be termed as sodium carbonate decahydrate. So these are some examples of hydrated salts. The water molecule which is associated with these salts also give them a characteristic color. Like in case of CuSO4.5H2O, you will see that the color of copper sulfate is blue. That characteristic blue color is because of the presence of this water of crystallization, this water molecule associated with their crystal structure. So before discussing that, we will discuss another term, which is water of crystallization. So water of crystallization is the water molecule associated with the crystal structure of salts. That means here you can see that we have taken example of a hydrated salt, and you can see there are 5 water molecules associated with the crystal structure of copper sulfate. So the number of water molecules associated with the crystal structure of copper sulfate will be known as its water of crystallization. So we can say that copper sulfate pentahydrate have 5 water of crystallization molecules. In the similar way, sodium carbonate decahydrate have 10 water of crystallization molecules. We can take another example of FeSO4.7H2O. That means this is ferrous sulfate heptahydrate, and this ferrous sulfate heptahydrate have 7 water of crystallization molecules. So the number of water molecules associated with the crystal structure of any salt is known as its water of crystallization. So in case of hydrated salts, you will also observe that some of the salts have a very characteristic color. So that characteristic color is because of the presence of these water of crystallization molecules in them. As we discussed earlier, that copper sulfate have a very pleasant blue color, and that is because of these 5 water molecules associated with it. In the similar way, FeSO4 is light green in color. So its light green color is because of these 7 water molecules associated with its crystal structure. So in case of hydrated salt, if you heat them, what happens that these water molecules evaporate after heating, and the color of these salts change. In case of CuSO4, what you will see that if you heat copper sulfate, after some time you will observe that slowly and gradually that blue color will fade away. That is because of the evaporation of this water of crystallization. Okay, so when these water of crystallization molecules starts evaporating, the blue color of copper sulfate starts fading away, and eventually it turns fully white. So the blue color fades away and the copper sulfate becomes fully white, and after heating it comes in the form of, like you can say the reaction here, if you heat copper sulfate pentahydrate, which is blue in color, if you heat it, what happens that the water molecule evaporates. It evaporates, and what you get is anhydrous copper sulfate. So anhydrous salts are those salts which do not have any water molecules associated with their crystal structure. Here in this copper sulfate, you can see there are no water of crystallization molecules associated with it. So you can say that this copper sulfate is anhydrous, and anhydrous copper sulfate is of white color. So when you heat copper sulfate, it changes into white color, and as soon as you add water to it, its blue color is back. That means if you dissolve this copper sulfate, this anhydrous copper sulfate into water, if you dissolve this into water, it will again get those water of crystallization molecules back, and it will again change into copper sulfate pentahydrate, which is a hydrated salt. Okay, so these two were the last topics of the salts, and the next thing we were about to study was common salt. You studied earlier. In common salt, you also knew that the manufacturing of common salt is done by evaporation of seawater at the beaches. The salt which is settled down or which is left after evaporation of seawater is collected and refined in the factories. So we also went through the uses. Now we will study about some important compounds of sodium and some important compounds made by common salt also. So first compound which we are going to study about is sodium hydroxide with the formula NaOH. Commonly it is known as caustic soda. So caustic soda is its common name, sodium hydroxide is its chemical name. So first we will study about the manufacturing process or production process of caustic soda. So caustic soda is generally formed by the electrolysis of brine. Now the question arises that what is brine? So brine is nothing but it is aqueous solution of salt, common salt which is known as NaCl, sodium chloride. So when you make a concentrated solution of sodium chloride in water, that solution is known as brine. So if you do the electrolysis of this brine, you will get these products. You can see the reaction here. This is brine, which is NaCl plus H2O. This is collectively called brine. When it is kept under electrolysis, it forms sodium hydroxide, chlorine gas and hydrogen gas. So these are the products of this process. As you can see that in this process, chlorine is also being formed and sodium hydroxide, which is an alkali because it is a water soluble base. It can also be termed as alkali. So chlorine and an alkali is being formed. That's why this process is also known as chlor-alkali process. So we will discuss about it in more detail. So next which we are going to study about is the manufacturing process of NaOH. So what you do is, for the manufacturing of sodium hydroxide, what you do is that this brine solution is taken into a container or a vessel. Two electrodes, a cathode and anode. These two electrodes are suspended in this solution and are connected through a battery and switch. So when this switch is on and the electricity flows through these electrodes, what happens? The electrolysis of this solution starts and chlorine, which is Cl2, this chlorine is released at the anode. Anode is your positively charged electrode. The electrode which have positive charge on it, it is called anode, and the chlorine is always released on anode. The negatively charged electrode is known as cathode. So it is negatively charged, and hydrogen always gets released on cathode. the NaOH which is formed in this process is formed between these two electrodes. So the solution between two electrodes is the area where the NaOH is formed in the process. So as I told you earlier that because in this process chlorine and an alkali NaOH is formed, hence this process is also known as chlor-alkali process, and it is very important from your examination point of view, because every year some 1 or 2 questions are always asked related to it. Now we will discuss about the uses of the products formed in the process. As you can see that 3 products were formed: hydrogen, chlorine and NaOH. So first we will discuss about the uses of NaOH. The first use of NaOH is that it is used in manufacturing of soaps. You will read more about this process into your 4th chapter. So that reaction is known as saponification reaction, and for the manufacturing of soaps, sodium hydroxide is a very important raw material. Second is sodium hydroxide is also used in manufacturing of plastic and paper. Third is it is used as a chemical reagent in laboratories. If you go for the practicals in your chemistry lab, you must have seen sodium hydroxide kept there because it is used in various chemical reactions. So it is also used as a chemical reagent in laboratories. Next is the uses of hydrogen. What are the uses of hydrogen? First is it is used in the manufacturing of HCl, hydrochloric acid. Second, it is used in the formation of ammonia by Haber's process. Ammonia is a very important compound. It is used in the making of fertilizers and all. So in the manufacturing of ammonia by Haber's process, hydrogen gas is used. Third and most important use of hydrogen is it is used in manufacturing of vegetable fats from vegetable oils. That process is known as hydrogenation. So basically it is a process of converting unsaturated fat into saturated fat, and about this process also you will learn more about this process in your 4th chapter. So just know for the time being that it is used in the manufacturing of vegetable ghee. And one more use I forgot to mention here, that liquid hydrogen or liquefied hydrogen gas. Liquid hydrogen is used as a rocket fuel. It is a very good fuel with a very high calorific value, and that's why it is used as a rocket fuel in rockets. Next and last, uses of chlorine. So chlorine is a very good bleaching agent. It has color fading properties or color removing properties, because of which it is used as a bleaching agent. Second is it has anti-germ properties. That means it kills microorganisms very well, and because of its anti-germ properties, it is used as a disinfectant to kill germs and bacteria and everything, to clean the surfaces. And because of its antimicrobial properties, it is used for purification of drinking water, and it is also used in the manufacture of bleaching powder. So you will learn about the manufacture of bleaching powder in our next video, or probably next to next video. So these are the uses of chlorine. Okay, so in the next video we will talking about the manufacturing and uses of some more important sodium compounds and compounds made from chlorine and sodium chloride. Till then, keep studying well, and you will get the assignments shortly. Thank you.